Coming off of just a tough loss at Alabama, and then you're right back on the road a couple days later. How important was it for the guys to respond and bounce back the way they did to just kind of recapture the momentum they had during that streak?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we played so well during the streak. I think it's 9 out of 11 games now where we've held our opponent under 40% from the field. Um, you know, just the maturity level, to have an emotional game like we did against Auburn, have a game on the road in a tough environment, on a Saturday in Alabama, game that we could have won where we had the ball to close the game and just didn't win the game. Tough 1-point loss against, a really good team. And we just continued talked about we couldn't have a hangover loss and had to put it aside. And we fought and scrapped and put ourselves in a position to beat Alabama, but we were unable to, and we couldn't let that linger into this game. I thought our, pregame approach in the locker room, they were fired up to play. They respected Missouri a great deal. And I think that's why we came out and played so well. The lead on the road for 38 minutes, really, really hard to do on the road.
And then, the first game against Missouri was really Trey Wade's kind of breakout performance. And I know he had a couple maybe down games here recently, but gave you a double-double tonight. What did you see from him?
He was phenomenal. I mean, we've been joking with him and told him to enter the box score a little bit. And, we play him, even though, he might have a lot of zeros, but it's because he does all the intangible things. And he's a really big key to this winning streak, a huge key. And, he did enter the box score. I meant rebound to get in the box score. He came out aggressive. I think he took our first 4 shots tonight. Couple of them design plays, but a couple he was trying to enter the box score.
Scotty.
Yeah, Coach Stan came in, talked to us and said that Coach Smart did a good job of letting the guys know that, when Kobe Brown has success, that Mizzou typically does too, or that's kind of the way it's gone in league play. What did you think of the way that you guys defended him, kind of made him a real non-factor?
Yeah, I mean, I just think, our philosophy's always been, to try to take the star players out. And we talked about, having an extra defender that we call a spy on him. And then we talked about bluff stunting. And, I thought that all of our guys, did a good job of covering the boxes and elbows every time that Kobe Brown had the ball. And to hold him to 3 of 10, phenomenal. He only got 1 offensive rebound. And we know the numbers. I mean, we talked over and over to our team about the numbers of what their record was when he scored 10 or more, and when he's held under that number. So it was important for us to focus on him as much as anybody. Pickett really hurt us in the first half. And so what we did at halftime is we completely made that adjustment and switched and had the spy on Pickett. And I thought our guys were able to adjust on the fly very, very quickly to go from Brown to Pickett, in that second half.
I asked you yesterday about Stan shooting the ball so well on the road, playing well away from home, and did it again tonight. It seems like he's giving you guys such a big lift from deep and pretty red hot on the left wing. It seems like a pretty good sweet spot for him.
Yeah, I mean, to go 6 of 9 on the road, 8 of 13 from the field. I obviously couldn't buy a free throw tonight. But we went to him the last 4.5 minutes of the game with our fist out 13. It's a wing pick and roll, 1 handling, 3 setting. If they switched it, he rolled into the post and elevated with his turnaround jump shot. If they didn't switch that thing, we were able to put him in the short corner and let him ISO a little bit. But he's a really tough cover because he's, he can shoot the ball and he can also, score inside. And then you add the fact that he's really stroking the ball from a high percentage from 3. He opens up dribble drive angles for other players.
I guess just overall thoughts on Jalen. He was kind of flirting maybe with the triple double, maybe at halftime, you maybe possibly see that happening, but just come another day at the office for him with a double double.
Yeah, phenomenal job. Both he and Trey Wade, both of them having double doubles. And Jay Will, again, we played through him a lot. We went to him a little bit more early in the game in the post than we have of late. Thought he did a great job of finding cutters with his 4 assists. Again, phenomenal. 13 and 11s, out of that center spot's really good. And I thought he did a really good job guarding Brazil as well and not giving up a 3 to Brazil and contesting all 3 of his shots from 3.
Bob,
Eric, I'm not smart enough to know all this, but was Trey primarily the guy you'd give credit for slowing down Kobe Brown, or were there other, or who would you credit primarily for that?
Yeah, Wade was on him most of the game. Stan was on him a little bit. Jay Will was on him when they went small. So, you know, when they took Brazil out of the game, which was probably for about 14 minutes, Brown was then the center. And so Jay Will was assigned to him. Kamani guarded him for 3 or 4 minutes. So I think it was a collective group, but for the most part, it was Trey Wade.
And then Hog Stats, you know, he knows everything. He tweeted out at halftime, the 19-point lead was the largest Arkansas has ever had in an SEC road game. The largest previously was last year at South Carolina, 17. I don't think I remembered that or knew that. But, well, what did you think about it? The biggest lead ever Arkansas has had in a SEC road game? I mean, what does that say about how well you guys played in that half?
No, I mean, the Razorbacks have had so many, great coaching staffs and so many great talented players. To hear something like that and know the history of the program is it's hard to go on the road. The most impressive thing to me is not, necessarily that we won or the margin. I think when you look at the totality of the winning streak, playing the number one team in the country, going to Alabama, playing extremely well where you could have won the game, you lose a heartbreaking game. Because I haven't slept much since that Alabama game at all, to be honest with you. I've been in a really crappy mood and didn't want to pet my dog and didn't want to talk to anybody. And the guys put it, behind them. And I really impressed with the mental makeup of the group right now.
And then, to beat them by 44, and you said the guys were fired up. I guess, what does that say about the mindset? Not taking them lightly, not, taking them for granted, even though you blew their doors off the last time.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about other teams that have won big in certain games and then come back and lost the second game. We've used us as an example of how we, got hammered at LSU and hammered at, Bama, and then, the next game when we played at home, the tide changed really quickly. And so I think those two examples and continuing to talk about and educate, just like, hey, this last game, take all those themes, wipe them away. They absolutely mean nothing. Hold on, I'm leaking. Mike, can you take this off? I'm gonna be freaking soaked the whole flight. God dang it. We gotta do something about our trainers taping. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I said one more. 5 guys with 11 or more between, I guess, 23 and 11 tonight. What about your balance? How big was that?
I thought it was really good, Bob. I mean, we had 107 passes in the first half, which is a really good number. I thought we had a good assist number to our field goals made early in the game. And at times we got a little bit selfish, but and took maybe some ill-advised quick shots. But other than about a 4.5 minute stretch, I thought we played really, really good basketball.
Okay, thanks. I heard you got Shakespeare's tonight, so that'll be good for the ride home.
I hear it's awesome. Best place in Columbia, right?
It's pretty good.
I got to talk to you. I went on a long walk today too, Bob. So I got to talk to you about Columbia and give you my true thoughts in private.
Christina, final question, please.
Up to fine. I'm all good.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Happy flight tonight. Go Hogs. Woo Pig Suey.